day everyone. This is Mrs. Kanimozhi from the Department of English. Let us discuss the great Greek poetess Sappho's poem Ode to Aphrodite.
Now let us move on to the poem Ode to the Aphrodite by poetess Sappho. Let us know about poetess Sappho. Sappho was also called as the 10th muse and the poetess. She is an ancient Greek lyric poet who lived in the island of Lesbos in 7th century BC. She hailed from a wealthy aristocratic family which allowed her to access education and cultural activities. Sappho likely spent much of her life on Lesbos, where she founded a school for young women, and she used to compose poetry along with her students there. Her poems often explore themes of love, desire, beauty, and the complexities of human relationships. Unfortunately, much of her works has been lost over time. Only a few fragments of her poetry survived today, and they are often found in the works of later ancient writers and scholars who quoted or referenced her. The major characters portrayed in the poem are goddess Aphrodite and poetess Sappho. Aphrodite is the Greek goddess of love, beauty, and desire. Poetess Sappho implores her to aid her with the matter of love. The poem reflects Sappho's devotion towards the goddess and her belief in Aphrodite's ability to influence matter of love and attraction. Iridescent throned Aphrodite, deathless, child of Zeus, while we were, I now implore you. Don't, I beg you, lady, with pains and torments, crush down my spirit. But before, if ever you have heard my pleadings, then turn, as once when you left your father's golden house, you yoked to your shining car your wing-whirring sparrows, skimming down the pathos, the sky's bright ether. On they brought you over the earth's black bosom. Swiftly then you stood with a sudden brilliance, goddess, before me. Deathless, face alight with your smile, you asked me what I suffered, who was my cause of anguish, what would ease the pain of my frantic mind, and why had I called you to my side, and whom should persuasion summon here to soothe the sting of your passion this time? Who is now abusing you, Sappho? Who is treating you cruelly? Now she runs away, but she'll soon pursue you. Gifts she now rejects, soon enough she'll give them. Now she doesn't love you, but soon her heart will burn, though unwilling. Come to me once more and abate my torment. Take the bitter care from my mind and give me all I long for. Lady, in all my battles, fight as my comrade. Iridescent throned Aphrodite, deathless, child of Zeus, while we were, I now implore you. Don't, I beg you, lady, with pains and torments, crush down my spirits. In these lines, Sappho addresses Aphrodite as the iridescent throned, indicating her divine and powerful nature. She also calls her the deathless child of Zeus to highlight her immortality and divine lineage. Aphrodite is further described as a wild weaver, suggesting her ability to ensnare hearts and manipulate emotions. Sappho implores Aphrodite not to crush her spirits with pains and torments, which could be interpreted as a plea for goddess's favor and protection in matters of love and desire. But before, if ever you have heard my pleadings, then return, as once when you left your father's golden house. You yoked to your shining car your wing-whirring sparrows. In these lines, Sappho is asking Aphrodite to return to her aid, just as she did when she left her father's golden house and yoked her winged sparrows to her shining chariot. This reference to Aphrodite leaving her father's golden house and yoking her sparrows to her chariot is likely a mythological allusion to the goddess's ability to travel swiftly and intervene in the affairs of the mortals, especially in the matters of love and desire. Sappho is invoking this image to ask for Aphrodite's immediate and powerful assistance in her own situation. Skimming down the pathos, the sky's bright ether, on they brought you over the earth's black bosom. Swiftly, then you stood with a sudden brilliance, goddess, before me. These lines suggest that Aphrodite is descending from the sky, specifically from the upper atmosphere, that is the ether, and is coming closer to the earth. The word pathos here refers to the heavens or the celestial realm. The word they in the lines likely refers to the sparrows mentioned in the earlier part of the poem, which are pulling Aphrodite's chariot. As she descends from the sky, they bring her over to the dark expanse of the earth. The lines also convey the dramatic and rapid arrival of Aphrodite. She descends swiftly and suddenly, appearing before Sappho in all her divine brilliance. Deathless face alight with your smile, you asked me what I suffered. Who was my cause of anguish? What would ease the pain of my frantic mind? And why had I called you? In these lines, Sappho portrays Aphrodite as having an immortal and radiant face, which is now illuminated with a smile. The smile symbolizes the benevolence of the goddess and her willingness to listen to Sappho's plea. Aphrodite, in her divine compassion, inquires about the source of Sappho's suffering. She wants to understand the nature of poet's pain. The goddess seeks to learn what might alleviate the intense emotional turmoil in the poet's mind. She is willing to offer guidance and assistance in order to bring comfort to the poet. The goddess also wants to know the reason behind Sappho's invocation, why she has summoned the goddess. This question underscores the idea that the gods and the goddesses in Greek mythology were often approached for specific reasons, and Aphrodite is curious about Sappho's motive of her invocation. To my side, and whom should persuasion summon here to soothe the sting of your passion this time? Who is now abusing you, Sappho? Who is treating you cruelly? We find Aphrodite responding to Sappho's plea by asking who she should send, specifically persuasion, to help ease the pain of Sappho's passion. Aphrodite inquires about who is causing Sappho's suffering and treating her unkindly. This dialogue continues to emphasize the theme of love and desire and the emotional turmoil it can bring. Aphrodite, as the goddess of love, offers to send persuasion, a divine force associated with persuasion and influence, to intervene and perhaps alleviate Sappho's emotional distress. Now she runs away, but she'll soon pursue you. Gifts she now rejects, soon enough she'll give them. Now she doesn't love you, but soon her heart will burn, though unwilling. Through these lines, we find Aphrodite is giving Sappho some advice or reassurance regarding her romantic situation. We find Aphrodite suggesting that the person Sappho desires is currently distant or unresponsive. but the feelings will change and he or she will start pursuing Sappho instead. Aphrodite is indicating that although the person is currently refusing gifts or gestures of affection, they will eventually offer them willingly. The person may not reciprocate Sappho's love at the current moment, but their heart will eventually be filled with desire for Sappho, even if it happens reluctantly. The lines convey a sense of hope and reassurance, suggesting that the dynamics of love and desire are unpredictable and can change over time. Come to me once more and abate my torment. Take the bitter care of my mind and give me all I long for. Lady, in all my battles, fight as my comrade. In these concluding lines of Sappho's poem, the poet implores Aphrodite to return and help her. The speaker pleads for release from the great emotional pain she is experiencing and asks the goddess to grant her heart's desire. She calls upon the goddess to stand by her side and fight with her like a comrade, emphasizing the intensity of her longing and the depth of her need for love and emotional fulfillment. Hope the video was useful. Have a good day.